How you guys doing? I miss you guys a lot. And just in case you might have heard, my son over there, Sarah Connor, he has COVID-19. So he tested positive. So now we have to stay home and quarantine because we probably have it or can spread it or something. I know I've had both of my vaccines, so I should be okay, so you don't have to worry about anything. And my wife and son are feeling great. They were sick over the weekend, now they feel better, so everything should be fine, so you don't have to worry about us. But I just miss you guys. The good news is I'll be back after vacation, or maybe even before it. So it's not a big deal. Alright? So I'll still assign the stuff for you, and I'll still run the online classes. You'll see me every Wednesday. Hopefully if we get the sub in there and can pop me on video, I can zoom in on you. That would be fun. Alright, so just in case you're wondering, where is he? Is he fishing? He's out fishing, isn't he? I hate fishing, so I would not be fishing. Is he out skiing? I wouldn't do that, but I love skiing, but I wouldn't do that. Alright guys, so we're going to learn today about how the United States grows larger. Kind of that thing about manifest destiny. Now, manifest destiny, in some ways is great. Like, okay, we're going to have America, we're going to go from sea to signing sheet, and everyone's going to be free, and that's great, but Native Americans, hello? They're not being treated fairly. We still have slavery. And the more states we have, then the slavery becomes an issue because the slave states know the more free states, slavery's probably going to end because they'll all vote it out. So they get worried, and the larger the country gets, they keep trying to do a slave state, free state, trying to keep the balance, and it doesn't look good. You can't be kept doing that forever. And so we just keep moving west. And of course, Mexico, we basically took Texas from Mexico, essentially. And then, how about California? And well, we have a war. And we take even more from Mexico. Of course, again, we fight a war and then we pay them for it. Seems to be what America was doing. They did that in Florida. They went in to conquer Florida from Spain and then went, all right, we'll pay for it. We're already here. Okay. So I guess that's good for peaceful reasons, but I'm not still fighting war for land. And we just keep spreading out west. Like I said, there's some really brave people and there's a lot of good in it, but you also got to look at the negative side. And we're going to try and do that. I don't know if this chapter will do that, but we will do that. This will teach the basic facts, and we'll go on from there. All right, so let's start reading. Enough of me yakking. In chapter 17, you read that Texas won their war against Mexico and started a republic. Santa Anna had surrendered to the Texans, but Mexican leaders did not accept his surrender. The Mexicans said that Texas was still part of Mexico. Texas wanted Texas to be part of the United States. The Mexicans said there would be a war if Texas became part of the United States. Many Americans wanted Texas to become a state. They believed in an idea called manifest destiny. Manifest destiny meant that the United States should rule land from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. This idea also meant that the United States should become a larger and stronger country. James Polk became president in 1845. The new president believed in manifest destiny. He wanted Texas to become a state. He also tried to buy California and New Mexico from Mexico, but Mexico refused to sell its land. In 1845, the United States Congress voted for Texas to become a state. This made the Mexican government angry. In 1846, a war started between the United States and Mexico. The two countries did not agree on the border for Texas. The United States said a river called the Rio Grande was the southern border for Texas. Mexico said Texas should be smaller. The Mexicans said that much of the land north of the Rio Grande belonged to Mexico. The United States and Mexico sent soldiers to the Rio Grande. The soldiers began to fight. This war was called the Mexican War. During the war, American soldiers captured California and New Mexico. The Mexican soldiers were brave. They did not stop fighting. Americans and Mexicans continued to fight. In 1847, American soldiers went into Mexico. They captured Mexico City, the capital of Mexico. Soon the Mexicans surrendered. The war was over. The leaders of the United States and Mexico signed a peace treaty in 1848. The treaty gave the United States a large area of Mexican land. It also said that Texas belonged to the United States. The Rio Grande became the border between Texas and Mexico. The treaty also said that Mexicans in the Southwest could become American citizens. The United States gave Mexico $15 million for land taken during the war. Like I was telling you, they won the war and then paid pretty fair money for the land. I mean, $15 million is a lot of money, especially after you won. The land that the United States got in 1848 was called the Mexican Cession. Find the Mexican Cession on the map above. See in yellow. California, Nevada, Utah, and New Mexico were 5 new states from the Mexican Cession. Yeah, that's probably worth more than... Oh, my God. Can you think how much that's worth now? California, Hollywood. Oh, my God. Silicon Valley. Wow. The United States now own land from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. Americans wanted a railroad across the southern part of the United States. The land south of the Mexican Cession was a good place for a railroad. In 1853, the United States gave Mexico $10 million for the land in the Gadsden Purchase. See how much they had to pay after the war? Look at that little orange strip. Don't look at me.
Yeah,
map.
that's small.
So yeah, that was $10 million, and the whole yellow was $15. That actually is probably a fair price. They gave $10 million for that little piece of land, but it allowed the railroad to travel flatter, and that's why they did it. In 1853, gave $10 million for the land in the Gadsden Purchase. Find the Gadsden Purchase on the map above. We already did. Years later, Americans built a railroad across the Gadsden Purchase. Mexicans in the Southwest became American citizens after the Mexican War. They were called Mexican Americans. Mexican Americans helped their new country. They taught Americans how to grow food on land where there was little rain. Mexican Americans helped build railroads for the United States. They helped other Americans look for gold and silver in the Southwest. They taught Americans how to be cowboys! Like Troy Aikman and Dak Prescott. No, not those cowboys. Real cowboys. Mexican Americans helped the United States change the law that was unfair to women. Before the Mexican War, a married American woman could not own property. Her husband owned everything. Mexican law was fairer to women. Mexican women owned property together with their husbands. After the Mexican War, Americans changed their laws so that women can own property with their husbands. The land of the United States went from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. The United States had become a strong country with a lot of new land and many new people. Okay, so let's remember that now Mexican Americans are just Americans, right? Please. So they have a great, rich history here as well. We got to. I'm sure we all know that, but it's good to remember that, and that many great people live in this country. We need to treat everyone fairly. All right, and by under the law, and hopefully just good people too. All right, so I'll see you on Zooms. And I'll see you definitely after vacation, okay? I really miss you guys. I was very sad not to go to school today, and I was surprised that I can't come and see you till later. All right, so have a good one. Bye.
Bye.